Welcome to today's video. Today we'll be discussing on the thallus organization in algae. In the previous videos, we have discussed on some general aspects or an introductory session on algae. So now let's move on to the thallus organization in algae. Algae exhibit a wide variety or a diverse organization in its thallus. We can, based on its features, we can recognize two major classes of thallus organization. The first one is unicellular forms and second major one is multicellular forms. Unicellular algae, it is the simplest type of algae in which the plant body is just a single cell. And it can be motile or non-motile. It can again be classified as unicellular forms can again be classified as motile and non-motile. And the forms which show their movement by pseudopodia are called rhizopodial forms, while the other forms which have a thick cell wall and they become sedimentary for some time in their life cycle, they could be called as coccoid forms, and chlorella is an example for coccoid forms. So what we have said till now is algae can be categorized into two major classes based on their features of thallus organization, that is unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular forms are the simplest one, that is the plant body is just a single cell. It can be motile and non-motile. If they move by pseudopodia, then that forms are called rhizopodial forms, and in some other forms they have a thick cell wall and they become sedimentary for some time in their life cycle. That types are called coccoid forms, and chlorella is an example for coccoid forms. The second major category is multicellular. In many species of algae, the thallus is complex and multicellular. In them, the cells are grouped in diverse ways, presenting a wide range of thallus organization. And here we have several different subcategories. Let's see them. First one is colonial thallus. Colonial thallus, here several independent cells organize into small colonies. They aggregate and form several colonies. Here we can see several colonies. This is volvox and this is a colony, this is a colony, this is a colony. Here they divide also and form several daughter colonies in each. We can see granddaughter colonies also in some colonies. It could divide up to granddaughter colonies. So this is how a colonial form exists. Here they may be, the colonies may be spherical, flat or filamentous depending on the species. Some colonies may be motile whereas others are fixed. Some colonies will have fixed number of cells and they will be having a clear division of labor among the cells. And such colonies are called coenobia, and volvox is an example of coenobia. So colonial forms, here the organisms, independent organisms or cells are loosely grouped into aggregations or colonies. It may be spherical, flat or filamentous. It may be motile or fixed, and in several colonies they have a fixed number of cells in each colony and there will be clear division of labor among cells and they are called coenobia. Second type is pamelloid thallus. In pamelloid thallus, the multicellular thallus, it is a multicellular in which the vegetative cells are surrounded by a mucilaginous matrix, nothing else. Pamelloid thallus are those thallus where the multicellular thallus is surrounded by a mucilaginous matrix. Example is tetraspore. Dendroid thallus, I didn't get a better image for this, sorry for that. And dendroid thallus is nothing but this is a branching multicellular thallus, and it looks like a microscopic tree. Diverse branches will be found. The filamentous form or the multicellular thallus will be having several branches, and it looks like a microscopic tree. That is all about the dendroid thallus. And it may have several mucilaginous secretions also. The next form is filamentous thallus. Here, majority of the algae comes under this, and the filamentous forms, it may be monosiphonous or polysiphonous. It may be uniseriate or multiseriate. It may be attached or fixed, and it may be branched or unbranched. So this much varieties comes under filamentous thallus. Filamentous thallus are nothing but the thallus appear like filaments. We can see here, this is a uniseriate filament because only a single row of cells are seen here forming a thallus. Okay, so filamentous thallus have again different categories. That is, filamentous thallus, it could be monosiphonous or polysiphonous. It could be uniseriate or multiseriate. It could be attached or free floating. It could be branched or unbranched. Okay, this such categories are there under the filamentous thallus. And next is siphonous thallus. Siphonous thallus is nothing but this thallus is aseptate. Unlike the filamentous thallus, here the filament, it also looks like filament, but here there is no wall separation. It is aseptate, and since it is aseptate, it will be multinucleate also. So it is aseptate, multinucleate, and elongated thallus without differentiation into cells. There is no clear demarcation between the cells. So that is a siphonous thallus. Next and the last one is parenchymatous thallus. Parenchymatous thallus, here the parenchymatous organization of the thallus occurs in many brown algae and red algae, and also in some of the green algae. Here in the figure, this is an example, and here we can, it looks like a parenchymatous tissue, right? Like a leaf-like structure, a flattened leaf-like structure. This is what is called a parenchymatous thallus. Example, we can quote Alva. Alva, and from green algae we can say Alva, Cara are examples from green algae, and from other classes we can, from brown algae we can say Sargassum, and we can quote Sargassum as an example. So this is what is a parenchymatous thallus. This is all about different types of thallus organization. This is an important topic and it has been asked several times for essay questions. So please go through this topic seriously. Prepare this. You can prepare a note and submit it as an assignment as and when I ask for the same. Thank you.